Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here and let's wake up the football gods. Wake up this morning, guys. Wake up. How's everybody doing on this Thursday? And this Thursday is not like any other Thursday because we are 1 week, that's right, 1 week away from the kickoff of the 2019 season. It's kind of amazing because I've had so many doubters and so many people that were saying that, stop being hopeful for a football season. We're not going to have football and everything else. It's like, yeah, well, you know what? Let's wait and see what we have. Yeah, that's one thing in life I've tried not to do is worry. Worry solves nothing. It just makes you sick. If anything, it makes things worse because you're sitting here wasting energy on what might happen instead of dealing with what is happening. Best thing you do is you come up with a plan. You bust your ass at that plan. If that plan fails, then you come up with something else. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, what am I going to do if there's no football season, and literally do that for 6 months. I'll deal with it if there's not going to be one. But here we are. All that energy that all of you people wasted saying there's not going to be a football season in the NFL was wasted energy. Because here we sit on the cusp of the 2020 season. And I, for one, think we need football bad. I really do think we need bad. We need something to try and rally the troops around. Whew. And the Dallas Cowboys kick off in 10 days, 11 hours, 24 minutes, and 15 seconds. And between now and then, the Dallas Cowboys have to get that roster cut down to 53. They started yesterday with the first three cuts, and listening to Mike McCarthy. This is what I love. I love the fact that you get Mike McCarthy press conference early in the morning. If you're on the West Coast, it's like 5 a.m., so you're not getting too much of it at that point. But it's like the perfect time. I'm up, boom, I listen to Mike McCarthy. He talks, gives you a little bit of information, but not too much information. And you can tell that this guy is all business. For example, one of the things they're doing for practice today is they're adding 6 minutes. 6 minutes. 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on. 6 minutes for team fundamentals for practice. And what they're going to be working on is extra tackling. That is a good thing because one of the things that, unfortunately, the NFL has evolved. The NFL, to get their contract agreements, have done things to entice the players to sign the contract. Because in the end, the owners only care about one thing, and that's making as much money as possible. And if they have to give in to the players a little bit to get what they want, that's okay. And one of the things that they did basically back at the last collective bargaining agreement was reduce the off season and the amount of practices. They did away with 2-a-day practices, where you were in pads 2 days. They're going to be doing away with more preseason games. And now they've even shortened the offseason even more. We would have had a shortened offseason with or without coronavirus. You have less padded practices. You only have 14. And if you were old school like me and you think about that, we did 14 practices in a week, if not more than that. Because we had like a padded morning practice, we had a padded special teams practice in the afternoon, and then in the evening we had a padded practice that was full go. We did this for like 3 weeks. So one of the things that ends up not happening is tackling, because you don't tackle guys to the ground anymore in practice. And you don't have that many padded practices to begin with. And most of the time, it's putting in the complexity of your offense and defense. So fundamentals is lost. And I'm happy to hear that. What the Cowboys will be doing, this, as Mike McCarthy put it, is the last really 2 days of like training camp type practices, today and Saturday. And Saturday is going to be a walkthrough, run through kind of putting the team in game situations, kind of like the final little, sanding of the roster, sanding of the game plan and stuff. And then next week, of course, they'll be getting ready for the Rams. He was asked about what he was doing this time last year, and he said he was completely disconnected. He said in Wisconsin, you don't have a lot of really great weather, so you was enjoying this, time of year before all of a sudden it gets cold. And then there was this key section here with one of the reasons why he ended up coming to the Cowboys was because of Kellen Moore. And I actually want to go to this little clip here and play this for you, because this is the question that was asked about his relationship with Dak Prescott as well as Kellen Moore.
Conversation about fixing and getting Kellen for the offense.
Well, I mean, frankly, when I came here on my interview, Kellen Moore was part of my initial thought process to put the staff in place. So, I mean, this was a day one decision. From a big picture of putting together, not only the coaching staff, but the offensive staff. So, as far as a conversation with Dak and I just, I think it was more about, hey, this is how we view, moving forward together. Obviously at the time that we had a chance to, frankly, sit down and talk in person was after, after the spring and so forth. But so day one, I mean, Kellen was a big part of the equation as the offensive coordinator, and frankly, it was based on the decision of the development of Dak, where I felt that he was and what he's accomplished over the past 4 years, and it's at the end of the day, a big part of your success as a football team is the production of the quarterback. So it's about the quarterback, being as comfortable and confident in everything we do. And Kellen and Dak have established that. They have an excellent foundation, and I think we're doing a very good job building off of what was accomplished last year. And we've applied it to the new direction of this offense, and all indications. I think Dak is very, very comfortable and very confident, not only just with Kellen, but with Doug and our whole offensive staff. And I think you can see it in the execution level and the consistency, particularly on the things we do at the line of scrimmage, the different things we're doing in and out of the huddle. So. I feel very good about where we are today and the decision that was made, obviously with Kellen Moore as the coordinator.
Yeah, so you can understand part of that, of the whole equation is Mike McCarthy truly believes in Kellen Moore and trusts Kellen Moore, and you can see it actually out on the field. You don't feel like Mike McCarthy is breathing down Kellen Moore's shoulder, looking and micromanaging everything that he does. They're working together. In fact, when Mike McCarthy was first hired, it was you heard immediately that him and Kellen Moore started going to work like a mad scientist and his assistant on designing new plays and doing everything that they want to do this season. And I think for the Cowboys, I talked with Philly 500 yesterday. We did a live stream and stuff, and he had pointed out that the Eagles have the advantage because everybody else has new coaching staffs, which is true. That there's a learning curve that's going to happen, but the key thing that may have actually happened was actually Kellen Moore being retained as the offensive coordinator. Because it's basically now changing the terminology. Zeke Elliott, you get little tad bits of information from what's going on. Zeke Elliott says, it's not a lot of different plays. It's different looks and formations. It's disguising things more than anything else. I mean, you're only going to have so many holes that you can run the football through. The question is will the other team know that's the hole that we're trying to run through? And these are things that you do. They seem minor, but if the defense is thinking I'm going over here and we're going over there, you have an advantage. If they know you're going over here and that's where you're going, then they have an advantage. And too many times with the Dallas Cowboy team, We have not had those advantages, and it's come back to bite us in the face. Understand, we lost a lot of games, close games, that a play or two here and there would have made all the difference. It's not like we needed to go from being a 3-win team to, 11-win team. We're talking about minor things that change that will help this team be successful. And having Kellen Moore there with that comfort that he's got with Dak Prescott, as well as with the coach, is definitely going to bode well. And you may end up seeing Kellen Moore as a future head coach in the NFL. So that's where we are right now, guys. I've got to go work on this deck, although I'm feeling a little under the weather. I feel like I got a cold coming on, and I hope it is just a cold. I'm debating on if I should watch this and just wait till tomorrow or go out and keep working on this, but I got a bit of a sore throat and a headache. So it is what it is. But we'll figure that out one way or the other, and we know that the Dallas Cowboys will probably be doing a few more of the cuts probably sometime today, and I would like to be able to bring you that news. But as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. And don't forget, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, we'll be doing our regular live stream, as well as Sunday night, 10 o'clock. Good Lord, Voss. I'll be doing a fantasy football draft. Yeah. Our team, Joe Boo's Mutts. All right. I'll see you guys soon.